Dear conference participants, I would like to begin by welcoming you all to Stockholm, which is now my city where I live. After having spent 17 years in Africa, doing different things, the last 6 years I was in Nairobi working for UN Habitat. So for me, it's great to see all of you here when the summer has just begun here in Stockholm. A specific welcome I would like to give to my former colleagues in UN Habitat. I'm happy to see everyone here in this very place, because this is the place where I grew up in the 50s and 60s, in a different surrounding, in a very different surrounding. In those days, this whole area was an industrial area and mainly, I would say, a working class area. This building was a mill factory. And where I lived, on a small island, a little further out, there was also a big industrial production, a mill production. And the interesting thing with that little island was the planning of how to live there, because it was all organized and supported by the Association of Cooperatives in Sweden, which played a very important role in establishing and running the industrial production, but also in planning and designing the housing and infrastructure for the whole island. In my time, we lived 450 people on this small island. Today, there is a lot of transformation going on and building of new luxury apartments, very expensive. It's going to become a high-status area in Stockholm because of its location. You can see close to the sea and in a very also close distance to Stockholm. You can take the boat and get straight into Stockholm. As children playing on this little island, we had a lot of space. There was a lot of open places on the island. Now there's going to be 6,500 people living on that island. And you can see the difference, the transformation, and the total shift from this small sort of social-oriented area into something completely different. So I think globally we're facing a new situation, and there is a need for a new urban paradigm. The old paradigm focused on singular issues, housing and basic services, etc. The new paradigm needs to accommodate the complexity of urban systems and promote interaction among its overlapping functions, such as livelihood, mobility, equity, health, etc. Public space is the respiratory system of urban systems and the platform to humanize cities. So how do we create a new urban paradigm? Game-changing global processes, as we heard here, are taking place. They are actually at the doorstep with the new development agenda, the sustainable development goals, and the upcoming Habitat 3. So we are actually facing a historic opportunity, I would say, to try and influence these processes. But there is no guarantee that public space will be featured. So it's a very important moment for us to strongly promote this issue as an important element of the new urban paradigm. I'm happy to note that the Future of Places has become the largest gathering of public space experts from all around the world, more than 1,400 participants and representation from 80 countries and also representations from 500 institutions. I'm impressed, I must say, with the achievements you've made so far and the way this issue has been promoted through your hard work and engagement. You have assembled here, all of you, to contribute to the rich discussions on public space. You represent the many stakeholders that make up the complex urban systems. To get the most out of our discussions and to try to absorb the outcome of your important deliberations, Future of Places has assembled a drafting committee to capture all of the reporting and observations and to synthesize this into a policy-oriented outcome document. And we also have document as background for our discussions. And they will be further used in the reflections in our constituent group discussions. All these documents will be carefully crafted and promote the principles gathered during Future of Places 1, 2, and 3 to influence these global debates towards Habitat 3 and the post-2015 development agenda. But we need your help. Each morning, the drafting committee will provide you with an update of the progress made and the reflections from the previous day. The task is yours to engage in the debates, labs, and constituent groups and steer these discussions into a productive and active-oriented orientation. If we are able to do this, we have a chance to contribute to the construction of a new urban paradigm and influence the upcoming global processes where the urban agenda is being discussed and where the issue of public space will be included and should be clearly included as an important component. Progress has already been made with the formulation of SDG target 11.7 that we heard about here, but it's a matter of securing that this goal gets implemented. And we need to secure that Habitat 3 will address and secure this commitment to action. We are in the drafting committee at your disposal for any comments and discussions. We will meet regularly and we will also be participating in the different discussions. I look forward to working with all of you on this. Thank you very much.